I love that story of Desmond the mouse and the quote from the recently deceased Archbishop Desmond Tutu, because it makes a complicated truth so obvious and tangible. If you are neutral in systems of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. If an elephant has its foot on the tail of a mouse and you say that you are neutral, the mouse will not appreciate your neutrality. If you listen to just that first sentence, you could try to argue with it, but the part about the elephant and the mouse is so clear. You cannot possibly remain neutral when it comes to a giant elephant with its foot on the tiny tail of a mouse. It is a reminder that we need more often than we would like to admit. It is easy to become complacent, to fall silent, to choose inaction in the face of all that is wrong in our world. The girl with the starfish inspires us to turn our intentions into action by reminding us that even the smallest actions can make a big difference. Desmond the mouse inspires us to action by reminding us that our decision not to act is also an action that takes us farther away from the world we dream of. Claiming neutrality does not get us off the hook. It simply ensures that there will be no change to the status quo. And I don't think there are many of you listening who would say that's something you want. The Reverend Dr. King wrote and spoke about this phenomenon over and over again. In his letter to from the Birmingham jail, he berates the white clergy of the city for not speaking out in support of desegregation the way he hoped they would. Later, in an anti-war speech, he wrote, "He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating with it." Desmond the mouse is not the only one who does not appreciate our neutrality. Here in New Hampshire, last year's budget included an amendment that prohibits schools from teaching that one group of people is inherently racist, superior, or inferior to a people of another group. In this way, it asks teachers to remain neutral when they are trying to explain things like systemic oppression or slavery and segregation. Without saying it outright, it is one of the many bans on teaching critical race theory that have been introduced throughout our country in recent years. And here's the problem. You can't explain systemic oppression while remaining neutral. In effect, this prohibition means that students in New Hampshire schools can no longer learn about the dynamics of power and privilege and the imbalances of power that contribute to so many of the realities of our world and the injustices of our systems. Our current legislature is now debating two more bills, one that would expand this prohibition and one that would repeal it. I think I know what Desmond the mouse would tell us to do, and I'm sure I know what the Reverend Dr. King would say. Our intentions mean nothing if we do not turn them into action. We cannot be neutral and at the same time claim to believe that a better world is possible. In the words of Reverend Dr. King, human progress never rolls on the wheels of inevitability. It comes through tireless effort of men and all people willing to be co-workers with God. May we, all of us, be willing co-workers in the creation of the beloved community.